Well, good morning to you. In case some of you haven't met me before, my name is Kutz, and we're about to try and listen to God together, verse by verse. Hope you can join me. But now, in Christ Jesus, you who once were far away have been brought near by the blood of Christ. For he himself is our peace, who has made the two groups one and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility, by setting aside in his flesh the law with its commands and regulations. Well, obviously this one's got a little bit of background to it. So there's a background conflict already. There's a dividing wall of hostility, and not just the dividing wall of hostility, as if there's an obvious conflict that was already known about. And I suspect, given that these two groups are the Jews and Gentiles that we've been discussing earlier. And so there's something kind of interesting here, isn't there? So there's another in Christ Jesus being the big issue, but it's Jesus sort of, metaphysical, religious, once-off stuff having real life significance here. That here, the barrier that the Jewish law had sort of brought into play here, that the way that it sort of separated out by its commands and its regulations those who were under them and those who were not, those who could be connected to God and those who could not, therefore kind of who was in and who was out, that in Christ that has been set aside. So a very physical, raw thing, in his flesh occurs. A dude just dies, and yet, as often happens with just a dude dying, or a particular, even just a speech, it can be, real life things actually, either real life things or spiritual things, like things that have a certain significance actually change realities between human beings. And this particular act seems to have done that. At least the Bible's claiming that it has, and it did. I mean, the world that we know now, with values of universal human value and wanting in the West, wanting all people to be connected regardless of race or origin. That has its origins in Jesus Christ, the one who in whom humanity will be united, and only in him can be united. So something cool here. Anyway, sorry I'm rambling too much instead of listening. But now it's in Christ Jesus that you who once were far away have been brought near. And that's interesting too, because it's not just connected horizontally, person to person. It's by being brought near to God that humans can be truly united, as if that true human unity is not going to happen elsewhere. It's Jesus Christ being our peace and bringing us near to God that actually dissolves, or at the very least makes insignificant the barriers between us. Because if we are together in him, in that location, in Christ, or whatever barriers, but particularly in this case the Jew-Gentile one, has been ripped away. So what does that mean for me? I guess I've got to remember that if I got to thank Jesus for making that a worldwide reality, that people care about unity across racial distinctions. That's something that he in large part has brought to the attention of humanity, and secondly that he made it even possible that if I humbly know that I got to come to Jesus with, as we've heard about in previous verses, with nothing, no works that I can boast in, no things about me that make me better than others, and I come with a humble attitude of it's only Jesus who changes me, then of course that makes my ability to connect with everyone else greater, because I don't have to compare myself, defend myself over and against everyone else around me. And so Jesus disarms the things that might separate me from other people. And I guess thirdly, I just got to again be grateful for the fact that I was once far away, but now I've been brought near to God. I had no share in his kingdom, but now I have. How about I pray? Heavenly Father, thank you for your word. Thank you for Jesus, your living word, a man whose actions changed the world, not just our philosophy, though it did do that, But God, thank you for giving us the means of truly connecting with other humans through humility, through Christ. That the depth of connection that people who trust in Jesus can have with others removes their competitiveness, because they share a humility before you, that it's only by your grace that we are able to be truly alive. Help us to be ever grateful, and to remember that if we want to be really, really, truly unified with others, that's to Jesus we must go to learn how. Amen.